Hello there everyone, and welcome to this Dragon Mania how-to video. Surprisingly, just as I was making this video, someone left a YouTube comment on my video that basically brought up the exact issue that I had in my last video. And it was this person called Mangin2504, where he told me what the best combination for the Comet was, which I agreed with, because in my last video I made the mistake of putting in two of the wrong dragons to try and breed for the Comet. So that's why I was gonna make this video to begin with. So anyway, that's out of the way, but the main reason I wanted to do this in the first place is because I see people all the time that use, for instance, right here, two epics are here, and this person was saying that they got their toxic dragon by using these two, which is fair enough. Like, honestly, if it worked for them, then they got lucky and it worked for them. And obviously if it worked for them, they're gonna want to help other people get the dragon. But the issue is, these two have so many elements, and there are so many possible dragons that you could get out of breeding these two. Like, literally, let's count. If we were going for the toxic dragon, let's count how many possibilities there are of what we could get if we bred these two. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different dragons that we could get if we bred these two. And if we scroll down to here, we'll see that the toxic actually has a 1.83% odd of being bred, which in a lot of instances is lower than what the odds would be if, say, you went for a legendary like the Comet Dragon, which is insane. Like, this guy got very lucky with breeding these two, and I'm not shouting at people that do this and use two epics to try and get their dragon if it worked for them, but it's about using the most optimal methods for getting the dragons that you want, especially for people that like to get really in-depth and like to collect a lot. And so I'm gonna go through a couple of other examples of dragons that you could use to get the toxic dragon first, and then I'm gonna go through the Comet Dragon and the mistake that I made in my video very recently. But the first combination that I would have thought of with the toxic would have been a void and a honey, because that's just what springs to mind first. And if we look here, instead of there being 21 different possibilities, there's only 5, and the chance of getting the toxic is actually at 7.14%, which is almost 6 times the chance that it was with the other two. But it's actually interesting that even though this seems like one of the most optimal breeds, which it is, but if you kind of mess around with the element types, so using only the energy and then using the nightshade, then instead of having 5 dragons, instead there's only 4 different dragons that you could get out of using these two, because there's only 4 dragons that have these elements in them. And so your chance of getting the toxic is then an 8.33% chance. And so the point I'm trying to make is, while using these breeding calculators may not be 100% accurate, and I don't believe that they include increased chances from the higher level or lower level that your dragons are, it's obvious that the lower the number of possibilities that there are, more of a chance that there is that you're going to get the one that you want. And I believe in this one I messed around with the types again. So this one's the plant and the witch, and there's 4 possibilities here as well, which makes it better than the void and the other dragon, which I've now forgotten, but it's better than that combo as well. So there's 2 that we could easily just try out to see if it's better than the other one. And this is usually the best way of doing it, and even if you go through, like, say, 3 or 4 different ones, you may not have the most perfect, optimal, 100% best thing, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better if you at least check up on the 2 dragons that you're using to see how many different ones are going to come out of it. And that's basically it for the toxic dragon for now. But the main issue that you have to worry about, it doesn't matter if you breed 2 epics, 2 rares, you don't have a higher chance of getting a legendary or anything than say if you used common dragons. So don't think that using 2 epics is going to increase your chances. At least I've never seen any evidence to back that up. So unless somebody can link me to something like that, I don't think you should really take that as the truth at the moment. But anyway, that's enough about the toxic, because a lot of people are going to be going for the Comet still this month. Even people that have already got it might want another one, so this is probably good to go through, even for people that already have the Comet. But what I did in my video was, instead of going through and checking on these breeding calculators for different possibilities, I just saw 4 elements that it listed, and I took 2 dragons with those elements, which isn't necessarily the worst thing to do, and I'm not using epics, so there isn't a massive range of different dragons that we could get. But with these 2, the lava and the ice, doesn't matter whether the lava's on the right, the ice is on the left, which one's the higher level, makes no difference to the odds when you're breeding. Just so you know. That's mostly for lower level players that don't really know about the specifics of the game. But anyway, with these 2, you can see that there's a 1.85% chance to get the Comet, and there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different possibilities for different dragons that we could get. And so this isn't horrifically bad in comparison to what it could be, but it's definitely not as optimal as I'd like it to be. And as the combination that I was going to point out was the one that the comment suggested, which was Clownfish and the Fire. But the only issue with this for me is the fact that I use my Clownfish dragon so much that this wouldn't be a dragon that I could use to breed with, because that would basically stop me from doing map battles. But anyway, out of these 2, we can see that the odds have definitely increased by about 0.5%. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different dragons that we can get out of breeding these 2 instead of 10, which cuts out 2 different dragons, which is actually considerably large, even though the odds don't seem to have changed that much. That could mean the difference between you getting the Comet or not getting the Comet this month, so it's definitely something to consider. And so in doing that, again, this might not be the very best thing, but it's extremely close to it. Just take that into consideration. But because I couldn't use the Clownfish, or if you don't have any of the dragons that are that you look for, then just search for a different combination. And so I tried out the Elemental and the Wind, and if we look through this, we've got the same percentage odds for both of these, which I guess would mean that we've got the same amount of possibilities. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different dragons that we could get. And there's different ones for both, but the number of possibilities is the main thing that you have to worry about. And so, for those of you more advanced players, I definitely suggest using this site because it's really easy to search up any of the dragons that you want. It has all the new ones as well. And so this is going to be extremely useful when the next update comes out, to make sure that if you want a specific dragon, you can get it as quickly as you possibly can. But this video should help a lot of people. I hope I haven't been too specific or too, I don't know, technical for people to understand it easily, but this should really help, well, all players really, and especially the lower level players that really don't understand many of the basics of breeding. I mean, I made a video kinda like this before, except nowhere near as technical as this. So if you have any questions, or if I've said something incorrect, you want to pick me up on something, you have some evidence that points towards the fact that using, I don't know, the Dust Dragon gives you a 100% rate to breed, I don't know, an unavailable dragon. I don't know. I'm just joking, but like if you have anything like that, I will try and get back to you as soon as I can in the comments section. But again, I hope this helped. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But until next time, good luck with your breeding. I hope you will get the Comet Dragon for those of you that want to go for it. Until next time, have fun, and I will see you then.